If you're going to enter the Fastnet race, you've got to be quick.
Yeah, it was incredible this year when we opened the entry in January, and in 4.5 minutes we'd sold all 340 places in the race.
Nick Elliott is racing manager for organisers Royal Ocean Racing Club. And for those that aren't aware and think this is just another yacht race, it really isn't, is it?
No, this was the first yacht race really in the Channel, and in 1925 we raced out round the Fastnet Race, and as well as being the sort of first of the classic offshore yacht races, it was also the sort of founding race for the Royal Ocean Racing Club.
Any notable entries that we should be looking out for?
Well, obviously one of the most notable is Alex Thompson, Hugo Boss. And then he will be lining up against the boat that actually won the Vendée Globe, so there's some fantastic French sailors coming over. CQS, the 100-footer from Australia, they're up. They'll be hoping for line honours. But George David's Rambler 88 will definitely push them really hard throughout the race. And so will the Imoca 60s and the Volvo 65s, especially if the wind's up.
And let's not forget the Mod 70.
The Mod 70, very likely to be the first boat home, so much quicker, realistically, than the rest of the fleet. So Ned and Team Concise, we hope to see them back sort of Monday night, potentially.
Now, amongst those on the start line will be the entire Volvo Ocean Race fleet as they continue their pre-race leg zero. Di Cafari MBE is a Fastnet veteran.
And then from there, we then race from Plymouth to Lisbon via St Malo in France. So it's a lot of qualifying miles. Really nice to get some, feel for the boats and the form and the boat speed and stuff. And then we know that the hard training work starts before the ultimate test, which is the race in October the 22nd from Alicante.
Now, of course, you know the race very well. You know the boats very well. But that's not the case for everybody. And these legs are so important, aren't they?
They are. It's just time on the water, time on those boats to give you confidence and to just know what you're doing. And when you line up with the other boats, you then get to see how far off the pace you are or whether you are okay on the pace. And we've got some new sails in our sail wardrobe, so there's something new for all the boats to learn. Every day's a school day when you're sailing. No 2 days are ever the same, which is why we keep going out there and doing it again and again.
And there'll be some first-timers vying for position too.
So basically, we've been aiming to do this since the beginning of the project.
17-year-old Montel Jordan from Tottenham. He'll be on the start line on board Scaramouche, along with other students from the Greg City Academy.
We've basically been building up our miles and also our experience just to make sure that everything's safe, because safety is one biggest priority to do the Fastnet for us, because we're at school, so that has to be number one, basically.
And what about preparation for you?
It's basically getting enough sleep and make sure that I'm ready for the Fastnet.
John Holt is the head of the project.
It's a big challenge for us. We have sailed for 6 days on Scaramouche before, so I think the time will be okay. I think what will be interesting is that time of just continuous sailing on a watch system will be a challenge for them.
And how big is the crew for Fastnet?
We can have 8 students on board, and then we will have 2 teachers and then the yacht masters, so there'll be 12 in total.
Teams come from all over the world to take part in this iconic race, including, for the first time this year, a crew made up entirely of Chinese sailors. Lillian Ni is from the Shanghai-based Noah's Yacht Club.
For us, very young team, we have many things to learn.
Although this is the team's first attempt at the Fastnet race,
yes,
very experienced at the sister event in Sydney.
We have participated in Sydney Hobart Yacht Race for 2 years, and we have finished it, yes.
Now, upwards of 3,000 sailors are expected to start the race. Many will be all too aware of the tragedy that struck the fleet almost 40 years ago. Nick Elliott once again.
Things have come along an awful lot. We've learnt masses since 1979. And the technology has moved on, weather routing and weather forecasting. So it's not safe, but it is much, much safer than it used to be. Life jackets, waterproofs, life rafts, the boats themselves, they've come on masses. It is opening it up to more and more people. It's a fantastic opportunity.
No sailor takes on the Fastnet lightly.
We require all the boats to have sailed at least 300 miles in the last 12 months on the boat, so that they actually get to know each other and the boat and are used to the sort of more testing of the conditions. We had a fantastic channel race a couple of weeks ago, where we challenged them 50 miles upwind in sort of 20-25 knots and some interesting sea conditions, which gets people ready. We hope gets them ready for the race.